Welcome back to another episode of the Sweet Talk Podcast with the GOAT, the GOAT right here. Everett, present. He's right here, just be here with his greatness. How's it going, sir?
That's cute. That's real cute.
You are the GOAT, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, and also he's the GOAT and the leader.
To all 9 of our subscribers.
Yes, the leader of the Bakersfield chapter. He knows the inside joke there. I won't say it because I don't want to get in trouble and get beat up.
Oh man. Well, you are the founder. I may be the leader, but you are the founder since we go in there. And since we didn't name the chapter.
And you gotta name the chapter. More power to you.
But anyway.
They won't do nothing to you. They'll want to attack me.
Well, that's on you. That is your bad.
Ours.
All right. Well, first off, we'll start off congratulating Mr. Boots, Jerron Ennis.
With a very impressive performance there.
Beat the brakes off of Sergey Liptonitz. That was ugly. That was ugly. That was precious ugly. It was not good. It was not good.
He put a hell of a show. I have heard a lot of people. This was his how would you say that his breakout fight.
Yeah. His
breakout fight right here to show the world, let the world know who he is.
Well, it was against somebody we know is a quality opponent. Like Sergey Liptonitz is not a world beater, but dude is definitely a
if you could at least drop him multiple times, that shows something about you.
Because clearly he's got some talent. Because not even that he just ended the fight. It's the way he ended the fight. It's how he got it. He put him in that position to hit him with that nasty ass punch. Now, granted, Sergey is a little slow of foot, so. He kind of does walk himself into that kind of stuff. But you got to have the skill to be able to set him up for that kind of shit.
Some of those crosses, straight lefts to that body that he was throwing, I was like, oh my God, thank God I don't compete no more.
Yeah.
Or I never competed that far because that thing looked like it hurt.
Yeah, that shit looked painful.
Like when him and Spence attack bodies, it's like, even like, if you want to go back even to back in the days, Cotto, when he's attacked that to the body, it just looks like it hurts. Like,
that shit is painful. That shit is painful.
Where do you think he goes from here? What would be a reasonable person you think that he should be aiming for next? We all know he wants to Crawford and Spence.
So here's the thing.
That's not gonna happen yet.
We should leave a little bit towards the end for a segment that I kind of want to spring on you. But we'll get to that. And it just the way you phrased that reminded me of me wanting to ask you about it. But to answer your question, Mikey is a possibility. Garcia, doesn't actually move up to 154 like he said.
I think that would be a really good test.
And that's Philly versus Philly. That fight would get a lot.
But I don't know because they did really well. I don't know if they're homies like that. Sometimes some dudes they don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's a perfect. That literally is the most perfect person.
From what I understand, I don't think so.
And if he could do what he did to Lipison to him, that really shows something.
Let's see, Pearson.
I've heard some people say Josito Lopez.
No.
They say that's another good extra step for him.
I think that fight would end ugly.
I don't want that because I think Josito has done enough to earn slightly somebody a little more known than him. We've talked about this many times. Just to get his ass whooped, but
yeah, it's a cash out fight. No, I got you.
Because this isn't a cash out fight for him.
Let's see, who else could he get? I'm trying to think of like 147ers that aren't.
That one dude, the Russian dude, because technically he is a free agent. The one that Terrence Crawford beat that really knocked him down. What is he, the Russian machine?
Oh, Igis Calvinat.
That could be a decent, good test for him.
I don't think so. I don't think that dude's any better. I don't think that dude's any better than Sergey. I think Lipinets is better than that guy. We can get Alexander Boots-Bootin the fuck out of here.
So I feel like a part of this is actually going to be more let me see, who does ever want Boots to just, get him the fuck out of this sport and beat the dog?
Well, no. But the Boots-Bootin one has a significance to it. He's ranked number 2 in the WBO rankings at 147.
What about Amir Khan?
And oh, you just really don't like Amir Khan, do you? Like, is there some?
I've heard people.
Did he AJ your wife? Like,
no,
what happened?
I've heard some people say bring him up for either that would be a good opponent for him, or that I don't know if you got to catch the other guy, Connor, that fought. That looks like he's a high potential dude for 147, the future of 147 too.
Connor Bent, no. No.
I didn't say he's gonna be the future. One of the future.
No.
On a segment I actually do want to get to on that a little bit, or the future dudes at 147.
Connor Ben can occupy himself with Josh Pretty Boy Kelly and stay his ass over there. That's what he can do. And here's the thing. I think he's a more skilled boxer than his father. But his daddy could put your lights out.
Yeah.
Like that. But as far as like all around boxer, I think Connor Ben is a better boxer than Nigel Ben. Nigel Ben was just
I've heard a lot of high things.
But Nigel Ben was a fighter that learned how to box. His son is a boxer. And he looks like he could fight, but he's fighting.
He called it Amir Khan. Amir Khan don't want those problems.
Amir Khan still don't want Kell Brook problems. So get Queen Khan Kardashian the fuck out of here.
We're talking too much about Amir Khan in this podcast already.
Way too much. There's way too much pub he's getting for having more glass in his jaw than a chandelier. Like, we're not doing that right now. Like, and not even a nice one. Like the cheap shit you buy at like Hobby Lobby that breaks in like 2 months.
All right, who would you want boots? Who's reasonable for you in your opinion?
I'd say Mikey would be the highest profile that I could see him realistically getting. That'd be the highest profile.
It is very interesting to me to see who he's gonna fight next.
Danny would be one I would like to see.
It's possible.
Porter would be one I'd like to see, but I don't see happening.
Porter's already came out and he already said no. He has no interest in fighting him at all.
Porter doesn't run his own business like that. His daddy runs his stuff, so he don't.
Wait, in his eyes, he doesn't see what he gets out of fighting these young dudes. He'll just rather retire them.
A paycheck, because you ain't got shit else. You ain't got no other options. You fought everybody else.
I think he'll personally
the downside to him having the resume he has is he has fought everyone else.
Yeah, well, I think that's why I say he's gonna start.
Well,
I don't think
that's fine.
I don't think he's gonna get in there with him Boots or the ones with De La Hoya.
Or we could just go ahead and drag Virgil Ortiz and get him the fuck out of here because they're about the same age.
Virgil Ortiz.
Virgil Ortiz. They're both 147.
To me, seeing that they have no reason why they should be fighting each other right now.
Why
in
not?
2 years, yes.
Why not? Virgil's not going to be able to beat him in 5 years, 10 years, 12
and
years.
if that's the case, but in a sense, it's
get him the fuck out of here now.
Build the sense of them two fighting with each other.
Virgil's going to get knocked out by somebody before that. That's what I'm saying. Like, Virgil's not good enough. The reason why the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather thing worked the way it worked is because those are two excellent.
Oh no, I'm not saying build it for 7 years. But you can build it for a year or two.
But the reason why these fights, like the reason why those super fights happen with those type of, because they're super fighters. Virgil Ortiz is mid.
Yeah, but Virgil's going to continue beating up. Like, none of them deserve the Crawford or Spence fight. They don't.
No, they don't. They don't yet. But I feel like Boots will at some point. I think the Boots Spence fight's going to happen, but it's going to happen at like 160. That's what I think is going to happen. Because by the time he gets, because I think Spence has 2, maybe 3 more fights left at 147.
Well, he
has the unification. Ugas, which, by the way, I may be taking a trip to Texas this year.
Oh, from the rumor you heard of what that card will be? I know, and I actually wrote that down on this book right here that I do want to talk about later.
Yeah, I'm going to that fight. Mm-hmm. I missed it in Cali, and I kicked myself in the ass for missing the Porter fight, the Spence Porter fight in Cali. If that card goes down the way they say that card, I don't even give a fuck if the card goes down the way it does. If he gets that fight with Ugas, I'm going to go see that fight.
Oh, let's tease that for later.
Let's
let our 9 listeners.
Details at 11. Well, not 9 listeners. It's me listening. We got 9 subscribers. I'm the only person that ever listens because clearly I like to hear the sound of my own fucking voice.
I don't. I clearly don't.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't even do your own fucking, like, dude. Like, you're fucking fired. Anyway. You're fucking fired.
But anywho. I think Danny Garcia is probably I think it's the perfect one.
Danny Garcia would make the most money right now.
Do you, comes with this whole server, do you sometimes believe in for some of these young dudes like that who are building up to fight somebody that, they're both aiming, when we talk about him and Ortiz, they're both aiming for either Spence or Crawford, like the ultimate goal. Oh, so sometimes, but you know how sometimes they always say, aim for somebody they've already fought, and so you prove that, look, I made this dude look worse than you do. Do you believe in that sometimes? That's why some people say that he should aim for Danny so he could beat the dog. If he's able to beat the dog breaks out of Danny, it looks more impressive.
That promotionally makes sense.
But do you believe in that method? Sometimes you see some people do that.
Well, promotionally that makes sense. So if you're dealing with promoters, yes, because Because then you can go to these people who really don't know shit else about boxing and don't understand the triangle theories don't work and the styles do make variance in fights. Like, but what you can explain to somebody, like if I tell you that I have fighter A who I think is really good and he's beat the shit out of, or he got his title from fighter C. And then I have fighter B who's really good, but he feels like he's not being respected, or he wants this fight with fighter A. Fighter A doesn't want to give him the fight, so fighter B is going to fight fighter C and try to beat him worse as a comparison. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could jump to the heavyweights. What was everybody talking about when Dominic Breazeale got flatlined in less than 2 rounds by Wilder? All of the AJ, because for a while they were shitting on the AJ fight. They're like, no, he doesn't deserve it. No, he hasn't done enough, which is wild because fucking Wilder's had a belt as long as AJ had been fighting professionally, but somehow he didn't deserve it, which I still don't fucking understand. But I digress. But once he saw the person, once people saw that this dude who went 8 rounds with Joshua couldn't last it a full 2 rounds with this guy, yeah, it puts the question, the human nature. It's gonna put that question.
Some of them I don't like though. Like when they try to compare the Kell Brook with Earl, and I'm like, Kell Brook with Crawford was burn the fuck out.
The difference is like 3. That's like 3 and a half. That's like 3 years later.
But sometimes they love doing that.
But let's be real. We're not talking about people who know shit about boxing, because people who know shit about boxing already know Terrence Crawford's good and deserves that fight. As much as I don't like Terrence Crawford's hoish ass behavior outside of the ring,
it's always his money sense.
I very much believe he deserves that fight. And something you may not like, you may be surprised to hear, I believe he deserves 50% of the money for that fight if we're basing it purely on his ability to fight.
Yeah, the skills.
But that's not how business works. Like that's his problem. His problem is that's not how business and promotion work. But I would never say that Terrence Crawford doesn't deserve that fight. I just don't think he's put himself in the position to get the kind of money he's asking for. That's my only thing with him, and that sucks for him. But that's a Bob Arum problem, not a everybody else's fucking problem.
When it comes to Boots, who do you give him a better chance to beat him? The 2 days he's gonna fight, Crawford or Spence?
Crawford.
Mm-hmm. I actually do think both of them. It would be a very interesting fight.
I'm not saying he can't.
At the current stage that he's at
I'm
now.
not saying that he can't beat either one of them. I'm saying the easier fight is Crawford.
You know who else we're forgetting? Keith Thurman. About him versus Keith Thurman. Even though whatever you feel about Keith Thurman, and he won't, but that's other name you can also toss out there. Both PBC dudes.
I think it could be an interesting fight.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he wins. I still think Crawford's the easiest fight.
Oh no, but I'm saying we kept on naming names for Boots. We forgot about Thurman.
Nah, Thurman's not gonna take that fight.
Oh, we all know, but I'm saying that's a name you can also say too, because he's trying to come back.
Yeah, but I still think even with his loss to Manny Pacquiao, because it was fucking Manny Pacquiao, who probably had some assistance, because let's be real, there was no drug testing. There was no drug testing. All of a fucking sudden, no drug testing for a title fight. So yeah, I'm functioning under the assumption that he has some help with his vitamins. So yeah, that was who you lost to. That's your one loss. Now, if you look shitty in some fights that made me question some things about you, yes, absolutely. Which is why I think for him, Earl is the best style matchup. I think the better style matchup for Keith Thurman is Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford tends to start slow, and he likes to measure and feint and do all of this shit, and he relies on his speed. And I'd say that Thurman's, if not as fast, almost as fast.
Crawford's it's like a slightness.
But I'm saying like the difference in speed is not crazy.
It'll be one hell of a fight, though. I think it'll be one hell of a fight.
I think that Thurman's a more consistently active fighter in the ring. So you can end up, like, I can see Terrence losing that fight because of inactivity and trying to posture and feint, do this, trying to hold in people and and Thurman being smart and shoe shining and Sugar Ray Leonard the fuck out of that situation and get the fuck out. Like it doesn't.
But remember, this is a new one time. This is the back to the don't duck me, son. Don't duck me, son. No more long hair, fade. This is a scary.
He was always
Keith Thurman.
He was always a smart fighter.
I know, but this is like, a scary Keith Thurman.
Even though I don't like the whole shit he does outside of the ring, he was always a smart fighter.
But his is a different Keith Thurman. No more long hair bullshit. I ain't trying to get you to say something crazy about him.
What did he does whole shit outside of the ring? I mean, did it look like he faked injuries to get away from Earl Spence, and now he's talking shit about how he wants to fight him?
Yeah, I just seen recently too. He called him out a little bit more.
He's like, yeah, that's your fucking karma's a bitch, and she's petty clearly because he can't. The fight he avoided for 2.5 years, now he can't fucking scream loud enough that he wants.
I was listening to this dude on YouTube. He like starting boxing. He says sometimes we need to pay attention to when some of these dudes call out other dudes. They know this whoever they're calling out is already in talks with somebody. He goes, Keith Thurman right now constantly throwing jabs and saying he wants that fight with Spence when he knows Spence and Ugats are in talks and probably about to finalize the shit out of it. And you thinking that you're gonna pull him away?
I would not be at all surprised if that fight is already finalized and they're just
but it's how Keith Thurman's trying to spin it to the world. He goes, "You'll be surprised how much fighters actually do that. They call somebody out."
I'm not at all surprised. I've pointed that shit out a bunch of times. Was it 2-3 weeks ago? I was just talking about Manny doing that same shit.
Well, you had told Derek with the Haney when he was talking to what was his name, Gary Russell, but he already had signed on to fight
with Rigo. I had already heard
with Gamboa.
I had already heard about when, where, and how that fight was gonna take place before Gary Russell. Now, what happened with the Gary Russell thing is Gary Russell was talking greasy on the internet.
Yeah, he talked. Yeah.
Devin Haney responded, and then that shit escalated. And I think Bill Haney, being the smart man that he is, said all publicity is good publicity.
Keep talking shit.
And kept talking shit and kept the train going. I'm not mad at it, but let's not act like we don't know what it is. For shit, there's been several times where I watched fucking Triple G do the same shit to Andre Ward. Or I watched Triple G say, I'll fight anybody from 154 to 175. Floyd said come down to 154. Dre said come to 175 or 168. He wasn't even at 175 yet. Dre said come to 168. And that motherfucker decided that he wanted to get deaf all of a sudden.
But you'd be surprised. A lot of fighters actually do that, and it's like
a lot of people do. Like
it's funny to me.
And
I don't pay no mind to it.
And some of it is just trolling. And some of it is just
and
like,
that, or maybe he's just build some interest here.
I know there's a bear I can poke. I'm gonna poke the fucking bear. Like
it was a Keith Thurman one is probably just getting the world to go like, remember me. I know I'm gonna do my tuna fight, but when after Spence fights and after fight, let me throw my shots over here and let's remind the world who I am and let's set that fight up right there. Yeah. Look, Crawford did it when he was at 140, constantly talking about the 147ers because he knew he was gonna move up.
Okay, case in point. So. Because we're gonna use Manny Pacquiao because I'm on that little Filipino's head.
I wonder if you love him.
He talked all of that shit leading up to the Mikey fight. Showed up to the Mikey fight and couldn't get to an exit fast enough to try and get the hell up out of there after Mikey got dominated. Because he wanted to fight Mikey. Clearly,
he was there to set up the fight with Mikey.
Clearly, he wanted to fight Mikey.
Yeah. I've seen the reports where the Cowboys owner, for whatever his name is, he's the one that pushed him. Come on, come in the ring.
Couldn't get to the exit quick enough.
He didn't want to get in there.
Right after that, they asked him about it. Quiet. Asked him about Errol Spence. He goes, I believe that he is very good and he will have the fighters and the fights that he wants. We will see. I will talk to my promoter. And then 2 weeks later, when he's trying to press up for a potential fight, I believe that I'm faster than Errol Spence. He's boring, and
Oh no,
he should
you're
have
messing.
dominated.
You know you're messing this up already. He goes
So
and it says something
So that's my thing. Is like he did it every time he had a fight lined up. Every time he or Errol Spence has a fight lined up, he takes his opportunity to try to shit on that man. So yeah, this isn't fucking new. Like that's a time tested tactic. Like that's not at all shit. That's wrestling 101. You jump into your promo in the middle of two people arguing. Call them both bitches. You get something out of like if at the very least you got eyes on you.
You know, one thing I do want to see stop in boxing is starting to annoy me. It only happens to two people. Stop after Crawford or Spence fight, or when they're just there at a fight and they love to interview them. Stop asking about them. You've heard these dudes say 50 million times to each about each other. Stop asking me about him.
No, okay. See, here's the thing. I don't mind.
Or ask one question and then move on.
No. I don't mind that they do that. I mind that they only do that to them. They need to run up on everybody. Hey, Canelo, what's up with this Benavidez, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andre, Charlo situation you got going? So I don't mind that they do it. I mind that they only do it to certain people. If they did it to everybody, and I feel like they should do it to everybody, then I would be like, all right, cool. Because actually, no, they did it to Benavidez. They absolutely did it to Benavidez.
No. What I'm saying here is no. I agree with what you're saying is because you hear both of them stop asking about the other person. Now, if it's only one person, cool, keep asking. But when literally both are saying it, we both don't know they're gonna fight. You can see what Spence is doing. Spence is going, let me get this one, and then right after he beats from what we all believe he's gonna beat, whatever way he beats Ugas. After that, there's nobody else besides Thurman for him.
But
he's gonna try to at least. He will fully attempt to go for that fight.
Here's the thing.
He's just not gonna do it right now.
Here's the thing. Errol Spence is doing exactly what he said he was gonna do at the beginning.
Yeah.
When this shit all started and everybody was talking about how he was drunk, and he might have been, but he wasn't lying.
He was at least tipsy.
Hey, but he wasn't lying. Yeah. Like generally the people that tell you the truth are drunk people, mad people, and kids. So, okay, cool. He was drunk. So, drunk don't mean lying. He got up there, was talking shit. He said, Bob is a lot of smoke and mirrors. I'll wait for anybody to dispute that. He said, I'm going to clean up my side of the street, and then I'm going to come after you. I feel like to this point, he's done everything.
There's a lot of short-term memory.
He's done every single fucking thing that he said he's going to do. Now, Terrence, if you was the big boss that you say you were, and Homac over there, aka Big Mac, aka Slow Mac, over there was really pulling the type of strings that y'all think y'all pulling out there, you'd have told Bob, hey man, give me Ugas.
Remind me about Bomac when it's over, when this is done recording, because I'm not gonna say it on here. Just a nice little thing I wanted. Cause you're gonna agree with me. I'm just not gonna say it on here.
Man, fuck Brian McIntyre.
No. Fuck him. I don't get. Fuck him. Okay. But it's something else. But just remind me later. Continue on.
Uncle Ruckus looking motherfucker. Did I miss something? No. Nothing?
I don't like him. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know the person, but some of the things I've seen, I'm not a big fan of.
Everything.
Might be a good coach.
Everything that's come out about him is hoish.
Might be a good coach. I don't know.
Hoish, bitch like even. So, now that we've pressed that button, yeah, I really don't like Brian McIntyre. Like he's like an Abel Sanchez level to me.
Oh damn.
Yeah, for real.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how I feel about him.
And bringing in this little hair, I was gonna say, I wonder if you heard this, but I already know you heard this because it's coming from this person. And I just want to get your opinion on this because it has to do with Crawford and Spence.
Okay.
And I know you don't care to listen to this dude. And this always could lead to, I know there's another subject from right to this you want to talk about, has to do with that guy. I seen a recent interview, Eddie Hearn said.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Timothy Bradley.
No.
Please stop.
Where Eddie Hearn, they asked him about the whole situation, how Spence, what he believes the money sense should be and what Crawford feel. And he goes, I met Spence a couple times. He goes, he seems like a really cool dude. I don't know him personally, he said. He goes, I've met Crawford quite a bit of times. I generally think I know him somewhat. He goes, in my opinion, that whole situation, he feels Crawford and his team, their heads getting too big. Because he says,
I heard this. I heard what he said.
He says that he's focusing on, let's say if each person's gonna get 50 million, that he's getting mad that Spence is getting 60 and you're only getting 50. Why are you paying attention to that right there? Because this fight can make you the next big star if you're able to beat Spence. Mm-hmm. This could blow you up and you're missing out on this opportunity. I wanted to know how you felt coming from a person. I know you have what you feel about Eddie.
Eddie Hearn is a lot of but I've always said Eddie Hearn is a lot of things. Stupid isn't one of them. Mm-hmm. He's an asshole. He's a compulsive liar. He's a dirtbag, trash human being. Yes, but is he stupid? No, he's not stupid, and he's right. What he said was absolutely correct. Terrence Crawford, and I've said the exact same thing. Fuck, I really need to start bookmarking when I say these fucking things because it was on one of our podcasts. Mm-hmm. I've said, why are you actually? It was one of the few times. It was the time I was going to slander the shit out of Derek because he actually showed up. Because I asked him about the Manny Pacquiao situation. I'm like, why is it that he's okay with only taking an 80-20 split with Manny Pacquiao, but he wants a 50-50 split with Errol Spence? Mm-hmm. Like, what in your brain makes that okay? Like, you're okay to bow down to this man, but you're not willing to budge in negotiations anywhere here. Like, you sound like you're focused on the wrong fucking thing. So yeah, I'm all the way with Eddie Hearn on that. Because let's be real. Either way, however the split goes in this fight, he's going to make more in that fight than he has made probably in his career to this point. Like after it's all said and done. Because like I said, I feel like the fight should be in Texas. You're gonna have full crowds. Dallas Stadium, you could pack that shit the fuck out.
If you say right now, yes, Texas. If the world's normal, Vegas. Vegas or Texas, I'm not mad at either.
I would say, okay.
I'm not mad at either.
And I'm saying Texas because that helps the crowd be a little more even. Yes, Dallas is Errol's hometown, but it's a shit ton closer to Terrence's hometown. And he can bring all of fucking Omaha with him in a van on a 6-hour drive down the highway. Like, and I'm not being, like, it sounds like I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm dead ass serious. Like, it's close.
And he has supporters from his right there.
You know, motherfucker's a good enough fighter. He has supporters everywhere. But I'm saying, if you go to Dallas and you fight Errol Spence, you're fighting in front of Errol Spence's crowd.
But I like Eddie Hearn because he did admit, like, he's like, your head's like a lot bigger because you haven't.
He's very prima donna-ish. He's really prima donna.
From what he said, he's like, you haven't shown nothing to where it should be a 50 because you only done pay-per-view twice, and it was an awesome number.
And your 2 pay-per-views combined is less than what he makes each one of his pay-per-views.
Yeah, and he's like, that's from what the thing he said. He told him that, and it's like, hey, come on, man.
Come on, me and you have had these discussions many times off. Like via text message, like he makes good upfront money, but he can never make any back end because he's either stuck on ESPN Plus, being watched on regular fucking TV, or on a fucking pay-per-view that flop. Because here's the thing: if you don't think for 1 second if his pay-per-views don't do well enough to pay for themselves that Bob ain't taking that out of his check, some kind of way, some kind of auxiliary fee somewhere down the road. Like, come on. Like, you're not gonna your money fight is Errol Spence.
But I did like the sense of what Eddie Hearn said. Like, he's right. That dude's head is thinking he's a lot bigger than what
I agree with him
is.
Completely.
Because it's very true about the sense of he said that he thinks he's a lot bigger and he hasn't proved nothing in the sense of those pay-per-view numbers. Now, if he's doing 200, 300, 400,000. Okay, you might be able to say something, but he's not.
If he could get a live gate over $1 million, I would be willing to, and I've not looked at it, so I could be very wrong, but I would be willing to bet you that he has not pulled a live gate that has grossed over $1 million. That's fucking sad. He's way too good of a fucking fighter. It's not for a lack of talent.
Yeah.
It's shit promotions and fights nobody fucking wants to see. Like, we accepted, because here's the thing. We accepted the Jeff Horn fight because, all right, that's the fight you have to take to get the belt. Cool.
He wanted a belt, and that was one of the people who had a belt.
And you were moving up to a new weight class. So, all right, dip your toe in. Cool. Dip your toe in. Get yourself a belt. That's fine. Fight number 2. Peg leg Benavidez.
What was his second fight at what day?
That was his second fight.
That's
Peg leg Benavidez was your next fight. All right, cool. You again still acclimating to 147, and y'all had some history. Bet. And he was a mandatory.
That's fucked up, big league.
Fine. You beat up one leg. You know, with the coke habit, who ain't fought since. But look at who he's fought since then. Like
Amir Khan,
Queen Khan Kardashian.
That Russian dude.
Off of a long ass layoff.
Didn't he fight that one dude? Fuck. I always like to say he looks like fucking Mo. But I think he fights out of LA. He was a dude that always went forward and he beat the fucking dog breaks out of him. I think his last name started with an M. I know he fought Matisse and he got his fucking ass beat by Matisse. If you want to look it up real quick. But yeah, his record in the sense of at 147 hasn't been.
His 147 record is
Johnny something?
Absolutely fucking trash.
I don't know if it was Johnny something, in the sense who it was. But yeah, his 147, his biggest win you could probably say is Amir Khan, like name wise, that's not a fucking actually good thing. That's in the sense who it is. Let's see, I know you're looking it up right now.
Okay, so his fights since going to 147 were Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, Igis Kalvanakis, and Kel fucking Brook.
Oh, okay, watch, go this way. I'm not gonna touch your phone. Who I was mistaken? Oh, it's for him.
Felix Diaz?
No, where's it at? Right there, Junior.
John Molina Jr.?
I don't know why he thought.
You're talking about John Molina?
Yeah. I don't know why I thought he fought John Molina at 147.
No, it's my body.
I was like, didn't he fight fucking John Molina somewhere in there too?
Yeah, no, it was before that.
I know he beat the fucking dog breaks out of. You can even look his resume at 140. It's not the greatest people in the world.
Okay, but 140 was then. He fought who he needed.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not his fault
he
because
fought the best at 140.
Yeah, you know what? That's my bad. I don't want to shit on him for that. That's because.
And honestly, Felix Diaz was not an easy fight. Felix Diaz can fucking fight. He's just tiny.
And the one that he unified at that time was a good fighter at the time. The dude he unified against.
That was the best. That was the best fight he could make at 140. So I'm not about to.
You know what? I also was thinking too about what Eddie Hearn said about that is, come on, man. You take that fight, especially after if he beats Ugas, can you name somebody else that's unified in 2 different divisions? Because can you name another male that's done that?
Other than Canelo's unified.
No, but unified all 4.
Oh,
undisputed.
Nobody.
So you can make he can make history right there.
Well, not since Henry Armstrong. He did it in 3.
See, since then,
but that was back when you only had 1 belt.
See, that makes history right there, and you're like, you don't. Why
in
would
the
you
modern
want to know
era?
that?
In the modern era, it's never happened.
Because you're never. How many times? I think the only other person that's gotten close to that you could say, but he didn't take the chance, was Andre Ward. He could have fought what's his name over there in his country, the one that fortunately he got brain damage.
Don Stevenson.
Yeah, because that was only last belt he needed after he beat Kovalev.
Yeah,
and he would have fought, and that would have been 2 different divisions that he did that.
But he wasn't disputed. He wasn't undisputed after the Super 6. No? Lucien Boutet had a belt and he refused to fight.
I always thought that he wasn't there.
Nah, Lucien Boutet wouldn't fight him. He wanted zero smoke. And hey, guess where Lucien Boutet is from?
UK?
Canada. Where's Adonis Stevenson from? I'm just saying, some people north of the border acting a little bitchy when it comes to Andre Ward, but we're not gonna get into that. But that man got fucked over so many times. We could do a whole. We could do a whole podcast on how much Andre Ward got fucked over in his career.
But that is really a possibility that no other person besides one person in history, but in this modern era, has never been to have the opportunity to do. And he has the opportunity to do for whatever odd reason he wants to continue just fucking this shit up. Yeah. I know you have something to say about the best promoter in the league. From what I hear,
the best promoter.
Yes. Not on him, not that promoter.
No, he's not a promoter.
He's a promoter. But anywho, go on, continue on.
He's a manager.
Promoter.
He manages careers and gets the fuck out of people's business.
He's an advisor.
Yes, he is. He's an advisor.
Yeah, an advisor. Uh-huh.
He's an advisor. He's Danny Jacobs' advisor, and Eddie Hearn is his promoter.
Mm-hmm. He's an advisor. He's one of the 2 people who own PBC. Him and Floyd.
Yeah. So what's your point?
Man. But people always don't acknowledge that Floyd. I think he's part owner of fucking PBC.
Yeah, he's admitted that he has investments in people.
Oh, does he? That was actually a joke I was saying because it's just a joke that a lot of people say.
He's absolutely monetarily invested in PBC.
Oh, actually, that was a joke that people would say. I didn't know he.
No.
I think it was.
Now, I think he downplays how much because he doesn't. That's a whole fucking thing. But anyway,
which is crazy for Floyd to be downplaying.
Okay, now. My question to you. Yes, so now, because I've done most of the fucking talking clearly throughout this.
Come on.
What do you
Hello,
think,
I'm Max Kellerman. You're Stephen A.
What do you think is gone? Wait, first off, I know way more about boxing. I know way more about boxing than that. Way more.
I knew that was gonna get you.
So, what are your thoughts on Matchroom Promotions not making good on their promise?
So about the Fury and AJ. Be a little more clear for even though you're the only listener, we have 9 subscribers, but you're the only listener.
Yeah, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, no, but just in case we get another person that actually views this, they need to somewhat know what the hell we're talking about.
Okay, now that we've gone through exactly what you're talking about.
And I actually love that you brought this one up because I've paid attention highly to this, and I want to say this. I'm gonna try not to cuss as much in this podcast as much anymore. Screw Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury's father. Because I've heard many of the interviews and people breaking down a lot of the stuff they've been talking about lately. I don't know how much you've been paying attention, because I don't know how much you dislike some of these dudes.
Doesn't mean I don't hear things. But go ahead.
The only people saying something negative about this whole if it happens, it does not happen fight of the what they have signed. The only person that's ever saying something negative, you never hear AJ talk about it. He talks about the one person.
Well, AJ's not allowed to talk. We know this.
But the only thing he says that he wants Fury.
He just stand there, look pretty, and fight. We understand.
Eddie Hearn, he's out there trying his hard, whatever in the sense. Bob and Frank Warren are fucking. They annoy the fuck out of me because they only bring up negative stuff about this fight, and you could tell they're not putting no type of really much effort
because they can't legally. Which is what I was telling you and Derek from the beginning.
That fight's gonna happen because it's even Fury's already came out and already said that they gave him the places already. It's gonna happen in Dubai. Watch in Dubai. I'll predict Dubai. It's gonna happen. There's something I know you want to say how it's not gonna happen, even though it's gonna happen.
You've still not answered my question, though. In all of that you said, you never answered my question. My question was, what are your thoughts on Eddie Hearn not making good on his promise to announce the specifics for the fight that is apparently supposed to be happening soon? He said by the end of this week, which have been my thought would have been Friday.
A lot of them say that.
But my thought would have been Friday, would have been the end of the week promotionally. But fine, we'll push it all the way to Sunday. We are now 6:10 Pacific Daylight Savings Time on Sunday. Why no announcement?
It's gonna get announced. Cause I just seen AJ just put that they're gonna announce it this week coming.
You didn't answer. You did.
It's gonna get announced.
You will still not answer my question.
I'm not gonna hold nothing against him because they didn't announce nothing this week. The fight's gonna happen. They're gonna probably announce it this week or next week. It's gonna get announced.
So now you're staunchly a believer. So, and again, I'm gonna ask this question again just so it's fresh in everybody's mind. What makes you think that you can just bypass a legal arbitration to make this fight? Because you can plan all you want. You can pick a venue. You can sign an agreement. You can do all of those things. But you can't actually have a fight unless the arbitration is concluded. So my question to you is, if a legal arbitration is currently going on, what makes you think they're going to be able to circumvent that?
Because that legal thing is just for money. It's not for a rematch. That rematch is maybe might come in the future. It's not going to happen next. You've even heard Wilder say that his next fight might be either it's going to be Fury or Andy Ruiz. And there's been rumors of many people he's been in talks to allegedly he's going to fight.
Yes, I understand that, but people talk a lot. Your boy rumored that he was going to announce a fight this week and he didn't do it. My question to you is about the legal side of it. What makes you so certain that they can just circumvent a legal proceeding?
Because something just tells, because you hear all these dudes talk about the sense what's going on legally has nothing to do with this fight. Because it's more of a financial thing that's going on over there.
But you do understand that unless this legal issue is resolved, he can't fight anyone.
They're gonna.
But no, but do you yes or no? You understand that if this isn't resolved, he can't fight. Period.
Until that thing gets announced, if he wins or doesn't win on it.
But we all understand that, though.
Hey, I believe that fight is gonna happen, and it's gonna happen in June.
So you're just gonna
June or
ignore,
July.
so you're gonna absolutely ignore that because you do realize this arbitration has a time frame of.
And it's supposed to be in May, I believe. That's when the
No.
It's gonna get settled, from what I believe.
No, it can take as little as 1 month, which would be the May, as much as 3 months, which would be up into August.
Every report I've seen, it's supposed to be solved in May, and you'll be right there where it gets solved. Or whatever the sense of what it is.
Have any of these people that have had to leak these rumors, have they intimated or stated or inferred or hinted at having spoken to the arbitrator? Because that's the only person who really knows, because that's the person making the decision.
Yeah, Bob. I've heard Bob say it. He goes, this is just for a financial thing.
Did he say no? I know Bob says a lot of shit, and Bob is a compulsive liar. We can go, and I feel like we both agree on that for a great number of reasons having nothing to do with this. Has any of them actually said, I've spoken to the arbitrator or I know, like, sources tell me that the arbitrator is leaning towards, like, as the arbitrator in this actual case been referenced, or is it a lot of, well, I believe because these people are telling me, because these are some of these same reporters you're talking about are the same people that have been saying that PBC is going to go bankrupt for the last 5 years.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want to try and spin a story to make it sound good for the people you want hearing it. But if there's no substantiation behind it, I have a hard time believing it. If none of them have talked to the arbitrator, they have no fucking clue. And which isn't to say that they're gonna be wrong, but they actually are just guessing. They have no actual clue.
The only person I've heard besides, because I will give them the whole party, the Wilder's party, Bob's, and Fury's party. They know how to keep whatever is going on in that little area.
Oh well, they're legally bound to. They're not allowed.
The only person I've ever heard mention nothing, and this dude is always on Twitter, and he's a credible guy who, when he reports things, because he actually does interviews with these dudes.
Who are you talking about?
Michael Benson, I believe it's Benson. He announced because it's very known that he's put out the sense where it looks like, in the sense, Wilder, it doesn't look well, but then deleted it because people are criticizing, like, and he has also put out there in the sense Wilder's against I forgot his name. I had showed Derek to the name, the dude. He was on fight. He just lost to Brazil. That he was actually about to finalize. Wilder was about to finalize a fight with him, some Russian dude, as his first fight back. But then some people have reported that he deleted it because he got in trouble by Wilder. I'm putting that stuff out there yet. So I'm going by this. I can only go by. We're not in that courtroom to know what fully is really going on.
I just find it very interesting. There's a lot of people saying a lot of shit about something they have absolutely no clue about.
I just have full faith that fight's going to happen in June and July.
Nah, that fight's not happening.
I have full faith.
It can't. Oh, and by the way, and side note, it can't happen in the UK because he doesn't have a fight. He doesn't have a license there.
None of the dates are the UK ones.
No,
or sorry, dates.
I'm just saying
countries.
He can't have that
I
fight
know.
in the UK. It's not I don't want to have that fight in the UK. It's he can't have that fight.
It's very much, I see it, it's the sense it's going to be Dubai.
Oh,
because I've heard Dubai is being one of the ones.
Other side note, well, if your boy Eddie is right and there's rumors, because I hear rumors too. If the rumors are correct, why isn't the fight going to be in Singapore?
Why would it be in Singapore?
Because according to the rumors, the big investor that was willing to pay $200 million is from Asia.
Of everything I've seen, and I've even seen the video, I guess, of Tyson Fury put, what was it, Dubai, United States. He said the UK.
It's not going to happen in the United States.
And then there was one other one. He says that they've given them the 4 dates, the 4 places already. But I always constantly hear it's Dubai is the one it keeps offering, so it's going to most likely happen in Dubai.
Oh, no, Dubai has the money for it. But I'm just saying.
I'm predicting Dubai. I'm with you with the UK. It's not going to happen in the UK.
It can't happen in the UK. The rumored investor is from Asia, so I just find it interesting that Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore haven't been mentioned. It's interesting. I just one of those things. Like I quite frankly don't have a dog in this fight personally. Like I don't like Eddie Hearn. I'm becoming less and less of a fan of Tyson Fury as the days go on because I think the dude's just an unstable jackass. But, and we all know how I feel about Bob Arum, so, no need to even go that
But
far.
I actually, it's very interesting to me. How would you predict that fight if it happened? In the sense, them to AJ and Fury. How would you think that fight would play out? You've watched both of them.
I think Tyson Fury wins that fight.
You think so? Mm-hmm. Okay, now what are you predicting Tyson Fury's and how he's gonna choose to fight him? You think he's gonna do his
run.
He's like that, or is he gonna do what he did to Wilder's last fight? Attempt to walk him down.
He better run.
Okay. Because I've heard some people break it down where the sense they say, okay, if he tries to go with the, he does his moving.
Because the thing is, AJ's not nearly as fast as Deontay Wilder. Like, say whatever shit you want to say about him not being technically sound, he's a shit ton faster and more athletic. And we're talking about quickness. We're not talking about how pretty you look in a Speedo. Talk about just quickness alone. He's miles faster than Anthony Joshua. So he can stick and move on him and run, and I say run because that's what dumbasses who don't know shit about boxing call it. But he can outbox AJ quite easily because the dude's not particularly fast on his feet. His hands are decently fast enough for a heavyweight, but his feet are painfully slow.
Because I've heard someone break it down, and he put in his eyes that if Fury could win in the sense trying to do where he outboxes him, but he feels that Fury, it's not going to be easy for Fury because he's going off the basis of
super easy.
When he watched him fight Klitschko was still able to a certain degree hit him, even though he feels Fury won that fight. But that was an old Klitschko that wasn't a very active person throwing. He goes, and he puts there. AJ is just like this much, slightly, tiny bit more active than AJ, and he's younger. Wilder. Klitschko, and he's younger and more explosive, slightly more than Klitschko. So he just feels if he goes forward at him like he did to Wilder, he says, he destroys AJ.
But you know the thing is, he doesn't gas as easy. Klitschko doesn't gas as easy as AJ either.
Well, in his eyes, he feels the easy way for him to, if he did what he did to Wilder, he'll beat AJ easy. He just has to be leery on those uppercuts.
You run the risk of running into something that you're not going to wake up from. Because it was a calculated risk with Deontay. Because at any point, if he got caught with something, we know from the first fight that your ass is most likely not getting up. Because if that knockdown that happened in the 12th round of that fight, which, by the way, was the third knockdown of the fight, not the second one, but we're not even going to get into that, happens in the second or third round, he doesn't make it through 12 rounds of that fight. He may not make it through 4 rounds of that fight.
So I wanted to personally get your opinion on who you think will win that fight.
The safe bet for him would be to, and especially if this new physique of his isn't just coke, it's actual fitness. And I know it sounds like I'm being funny, but I'm not. Like if it's actual fitness and not him and his booger sugar, then it would serve him well to use his athleticism to stay the fuck away from Anthony Joshua.
I know there was something
and just let him gas out.
Something you wanted to say about boots too, to transition to. You guys said something you wanted to say for later, how to do a boots and I think Victor Ortiz or something. You said we'll save it for later. We're teasing it for later.
No, there was something about There was something about Virgil. Oh yeah, no. There's the.
Virgil.
Virgil Ortiz. We're not Victor Ortiz. Come on, man. Nobody needs to be getting beat up like that, man. We need to reassess our life situation. I have to go talk to my boyfriend. Let's not do the homophobic comments.
That's how we get banned or we get flagged, sir.
He's not. Well, I mean, he may be gay. I don't fucking know.
I
honestly don't even care. Yeah, like I don't know. You think he'd be able to take an ass whooping better if he was?
We're getting flagged for this one. Anyway, like you were saying, like you were saying.
What it was? Oh no! It wasn't them that I was actually. There was a, and this is a question for you, and one of my pet peeves, one of my biggest pet peeves, and you know it's a huge pet peeve of mine, because I always bring it up when anyone does it, but usually when you, because me and you are the one that talk about boxing the most, is when I hear people say, "Oh, he's not big enough profile to fight to get that fight. He doesn't have a big enough name. He doesn't make enough money. He doesn't do enough of this, or he hasn't done enough that." And I'll load this question up a little bit before I ask it to you. As a person who has been in a competitive situation as a fighter, what do you think should be more important? The merit of the fighter or the amount of money he can bring to a fight? I'm not asking about what the promoters think. I'm not asking about what the managers think. I'm not asking about how you should steer your career. I'm asking a fighter. I'm asking as a fighter to a fighter, what should be more important? The profile that you are fighting or the quality of fighter that you are fighting? And as a fighter, what should be more important, your profile or your ability to fight?
Oh, I was gonna answer both ways as a fighter and as looking at it as a fan from the outside. As a fighter, come on, I'm a competitor. If I was in the sense, like you like to always bring up the Canelo or the Triple G, I'm telling Charlo, come on, let's get in that ring. As me as a person, as a competitor, that's personally what I am wanting to do. Yes, that's what's right. Now looking at it as a fan, it shouldn't be the sense of because I want to fight this dude because he brings in the most money. No, it should be fight the best. That's what it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's
yeah, I believe
that's all I'm saying. And so when I go on my long ass rants, when you say shit like this person doesn't have a big enough profile, that's the first thought in my head. Like especially as fans, and I feel like especially as fans.
No, but I do. But
we get way too wrapped up in the shit.
We get invested too much.
No, we don't invest too much. We get way too wrapped up in the bullshit that promoters are slinging. You start drinking the promotional Kool-Aid, like, oh, well, what has this guy done? He gets hit in the fucking face for 9 months out of his life. That's what the fuck he's done. Like...
Okay, but let me try to be devil's avocado here to a certain degree. Shout out to Michael Bisbee and his podcast for that one. I'm stealing that one from him.
Oh god! And you brought some UFC trash into this shit. Yeah, fuck UFC too.
Okay, well, where is the sense of that line? Like, okay, we think Charlo believe yes, he deserves to fight against the Triple G or Canelo. Yes, we agree on that one. But where's the like? To my opinion, personally, Boots at the current moment, I believe needs at the current moment. Do you think Boots right now deserves the fight with Crawford or Spence? Because where's that fine line at?
If they make that fight, fine, I'd be okay with it.
Okay, no, but does he deserve it?
Look, I am more okay with. He's more deserving than Igis Kavanakis.
Okay, no, I'm not disagreeing.
And Jose Benavidez.
Yeah, I'm not
disagreeing. And Amir Khan. That's my point. That's my point.
But where's the fine line though?
There is no fine line. I have no line. Either you're worth it or you're not.
Because like Connor,
I don't care.
Like that guy Connor, I don't know his last name, whatever the Connor dude. He's a technically undefeated dude. Connor Ben. Does he deserve a fight against one of those dudes? No. We feel like he gets washed.
His been trash.
Okay. In the sense,
I
always want to know where's that fine line then. Where's that fine line?
He's not proven himself. I don't feel like he's done anything to prove himself.
Huh.
Who did he fight last night?
You got me there. I didn't even watch his fight. I've heard a lot about him.
Name somebody he's fought.
He's gonna fight Amir Khan.
Name someone he has fought.
Just to put Amir Khan's name one more time in this episode.
Name someone he has
That's probably the last time we're gonna bring him.
Name someone he has fought. And here's the thing: I'm not even talking about fame because I know fighters that are good fighters that don't have shit for a name. Like I'm asking for name a quality fighter that he's fought.
No, I can't. I'm just
there's
trying to find.
And there's my line. My line is: have you fought quality competition and look good?
So Boots beating Lipison, that's good enough for it.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough for.
But before the Lipison, no, he doesn't deserve it. Even if he calls him out like a motherfucker.
No, I don't think he deserves it.
Do you? Okay, let me give you this.
His quality of opponent to that point was not there.
Does whoever is the person that's building up to fight whoever the name champion is, the face of that division, does he at least before he fight that dude, in your opinion, should fight one former champion at least, even if it's a wash-up dude, a decent one, at least one former right there.
No, because okay,
Lipison technically was a champion.
And I say no. I say no because so you're saying former champion, so they don't have to be a
no, they don't have to be a champion right now.
Just a former champion.
Yeah, former champion. Because they always
yes.
Because a stat that I see all the time.
You need to I will augment my response just slightly. You need to have fought somebody that is championship level.
Okay, because that's an argument that I always see when it comes to Floyd, Pacquiao, Chavez Sr., and I believe it's Sugar Ray Leonard. They compare how many champions they have fought in their whole career. Even if some of these dudes in the beginning days were washed out, they compare how many champions, because That's what glorifies your resume.
Yeah.
So that's why I bring this up. Because a lot of times that's what you do. You aim for a dude that was a former champion, different division. And
Well,
you
that's how you build yourself as a fighter.
Yeah. So I wonder
Absolutely.
where is that in the sense of that person?
But I think champion. Okay, let me put it to you like trying to think of a way to.
Because technically Lipinson was a champion at 140.
Yeah. So yeah, he is a former.
He wasn't champion at 147, but 140 is.
I'm trying to think of someone I could use that's not quite a champion, but okay. I'll go with, say, for whatever reason, the Jordanius Ugas Errol Spence fight doesn't happen, and I don't even want to put this shit out in the universe, but it was just whatever reason, say it didn't happen. And would you be okay with Duran fighting Ugas?
I'm not mad at that. I'm choosing.
So if you're okay with him fighting Ugas, why wouldn't you be okay with him fighting Spencer Crawford?
Well, at the current moment right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was picturing in my mind the sense that he didn't have a belt. I don't know why I was thinking the sense well, Ugas is, you got me there. I can't. There's not much to say.
Now, granted, he's clearly the weaker of the three.
Clearly
the weaker of the three. I'm not going to try to make the case that he's just as good as the other two. He's not. But I'm saying if it's okay for this champion, then it should be okay for any champion. So the bigger problem is there are champions that just don't deserve to be champions that end up being champions. But the thing is, once you've designated somebody that level, you can't take it back. So you can't take Jeff Horn back.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. He's a fucking champion.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take Devin Alexander back. And look, I like Devin Alexander. He seems like, I've heard interviews of him. He seems like a really just genuinely good dude. But as far as like the people that were fighting in his time, you wasn't it.
Yeah.
He just wasn't it.
Not everybody gets to be great.
He just wasn't on their level. So, yeah. So Devin Alexander, come on, man. Like, nah.
Since we only
Jaime Munguia.
What about him?
He's a champion. Patrick Teixeira, former champion. Like, you can't take those dudes back.
Yeah. So
once you can say, oh, this person is the level of fighting that guy, then all the other champions are open season. And if you don't want that way, well, then maybe these sanctioning bodies need to be a little more careful about who they let have fucking belts.
No, they give everybody a fucking belt.
Saying.
You could come back. You could come out of retirement right now and but give you a belt.
Shit, it better be an elastic one, because I'm not gonna stop eating.
You're a fucking heavyweight. Stop. Relax.
Yeah, I know. So it needs to be an elastic belt, because I'm not gonna stop eating.
With the few seconds that we have left, let's talk about the rumor that we hear of that beautiful card if it actually happens in Texas.
Oh.
It would be Errol Spence versus Ugas with.
It's the closest thing to my night of the main event card that I'm gonna ever fucking get.
With Charlo versus what's the dude's name? Cause his CA something, I know that. But fighting. Oh my god, I fucking love that. Put that as a hell of a card right there.
If I have to drive to Dallas, Texas, I'm going to that fight.
I'm not going to take
that. Shit gets announced. I'm going.
Truthfully, that shit could be in Bakersfield and I still wouldn't even go. Why? When I could have on TV the best view of the whole shit. You know I can't see even far.
You are such a.
I'm a 29-year-old man that has the eyes of an 80-year-old.
You are such a fucking old ass man.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Like I am 9 years older than you, but you don't want to act like you're fucking 900 years old.
I'm not ashamed of it. I don't give a.
Like you went from 24 to 94. You went 0 to 100.
I don't care. I'm an old man. I love the view that I have from the TV.
That's alright. I'm gonna bring Derek with me.
Oh man, I had a joke to say that. But I love that. I think boxers should do that, give and take a little more. There's too much pride in this fucking game to be wanting to be a co-main event. But the Chargers, I think, changed the game. How both of them built it as.
And they coin flip for who's the main.
Yeah, and it's how it's a double header. It's a double main event.
Well, shit. Honestly, one of the best cards in recent memory that I can think of was the tournament, the little mini tournament the PBC had when they had Goucher versus Lara. They had one of the Charlos versus whoever the fuck and then they had the two Charlos fighting that same night. So and it was Charlo Lubin, Goucher, and Lara, and it was the other Charlo and somebody else, or was it Hurd? But anyway, there was like three or